Nobody notices you. We live in a world where visibility has become currency. Likes, stories, posts, reels. It's all a frantic attempt to scream into the abyss. Hey, I'm here, look at me. But the silent drama of the modern soul is exactly this. No matter how much you appear, nobody truly notices you. To be noticed is more than being seen. A man can be naked before a crowd and still be invisible. Perception involves something that goes beyond sight. It is the ability to touch another's essence, to enter their silence, to see them where not even they can find themselves. And in this, we are all failing miserably. Loneliness has never been so technological. The fetish of the gaze. We live under the regime of the image. From a young age, we learn that life must be recorded, displayed, commented on. Other people's eyes have become the new mirror, a distorted one, cynical, distracted, performative. We want to be noticed as important, interesting, attractive, desirable. We no longer seek to be understood, only to be liked. It's curious to notice that as communication possibilities increase, so does the feeling of isolation. We've never been so connected and so unable to communicate. There's something tragic in this paradox. Hypercommunication creates noise, not listening. Nobody notices you because nobody wants to notice anyone. Perception requires time, attention, vulnerability. Everything that today's world rejects. Hurry has become a virtue. Feeling is a luxury. Understanding others is a waste of time. After all, there's always another video to watch, another profile to follow, another chat to reply to. Emotional indigence. The great illness of our time isn't depression, anxiety, or burnout. It's emotional indigence. The inability to be truly affected by another, to make real contact with their pain, their joy, their confessions. We're surrounded by people, yet engulfed in absence. When someone says, "Nobody understands me," we often hear it as teenage exaggeration, cheap drama. But this phrase hides a legitimate cry, that even when surrounded, we remain alone. Love, friendship, deep conversation. All of it has become rare. The ordinary now is superficial exchange, liquid affection, disposable relationships. Nobody notices you because nobody is willing to carry the weight of your existence. And yes, your existence is heavy. You are not light, no one is. To be noticed is an invitation to carry the other, if only a little, even if just with your eyes. And who today has the strength or willingness for that? Narcissism disguised as empathy. There's something hypocritical about today's talk of empathy. It's spoken about often, but rarely practiced. Empathy has become a hashtag, a sticker in a bio, a catchphrase. But deep down, nobody is truly interested in understanding the other. What exists is camouflaged narcissism. We want to appear empathetic to be well regarded, not to be helpful. Listening to someone with genuine attention is almost revolutionary. It means letting go of yourself for a moment, silencing your own urgencies, bearing the discomfort of someone else's pain. But most prefer quick answers, ready-made advice, motivational memes. Listening has become a performance, not a surrender. Nobody notices you because nobody has time to leave themselves. And we can only notice the other when we're willing to step outside our own bubble, if only for a few minutes. The pain of not being read. One of life's greatest sufferings is not being read. You may write the best book, but if no one reads it, it dies. The same goes for the soul. You can be complex, intense, full of layers, but if no one reads you, you slowly fade. You become a kind of fiction abandoned on a dusty shelf of existence. We are walking libraries, but few people browse our pages. The world demands summaries, synopses, slogans. Nobody has time to dive deep. Superficiality has become a survival strategy, and anything that doesn't fit in a tweet, a post, or a paragraph is discarded. You are too long, you feel too much, you think too deeply, you talk too much, you exhaust. And because of that, nobody notices you. Silence as the last refuge faced with non-perception, many retreat. They become silent, cynical, reclusive. They build emotional armor, pretend not to care, disguise the desire to be noticed with a speech of independence. But deep down, everyone wants to be seen, truly seen. Silence becomes a mute scream, a quiet protest against a hurried world. Those who are silent are not always indifferent. Sometimes they're just someone who got tired of not being noticed. Silence can be the last gesture of dignity in a noisy society. Many who are silent do not want to hide. They are just waiting for someone to find them. Someone to approach calmly, with attentive eyes, with open ears. Someone to read them, page by page, without rushing to the end. Perception as an act of love. To notice someone is an act of love. Perhaps the greatest one. It's saying, without words, I see you. And to see here is not with the eyes, but with an attentive heart. It's noticing the smallest gestures, the weighted silences, the fleeting glances. It's picking up what the other doesn't say but screams internally. It's rare, yes. And that's why, when it happens, it leaves a mark. We all have memories of people who once noticed us. A teacher, a friend, a lover, a stranger. Someone who looked at you as if you mattered, without expecting anything in return. These moments are anchors, brief flashes of meaning in the midst of indifference. That is why it is not an exaggeration to say that noticing another is a sacred gesture. It's telling the world, I'm still capable of leaving myself. And today, that means more than any clever phrase. The courage to notice. If no one notices you, the solution isn't necessarily to scream louder. Maybe the opposite. Be silent, and begin to notice as well. Because perception is a two-way street. Sometimes to be noticed, one must first learn how to notice. Those who perceive deeply also suffer more. It's impossible to be sensitive and weightless at the same time. Perception brings with it pain, anguish, helplessness. But it also brings meaning. It's in the attentive gaze that life's greatest revelations dwell. Those who perceive start to see what's hidden between the lines of the world. Noticing another is, in some way, saving yourself from cynicism. It's keeping the flame of presence alive. And who knows, by noticing someone, that person might begin to notice you in return. Because there is a kind of attention that is contagious. The invisible child. We are all deep down invisible children. That child who once wanted to show a drawing and no one looked. Who tried to tell a dream and was interrupted. Who fell and hoped for comfort, but heard, "Get up, you're fine." We grew up, but we carry that emptiness. We still wait for someone to say, "Show me your drawing. I want to hear your dream. Come here, it hurts, but I'm with you." We keep longing for what was never fully given to us. Loving attention. Nobody notices you because the world is full of invisible children pretending to be functional adults. And this theater comes at a cost. The cost is truth. Conclusion. The value of perception in a distracted world. Nobody notices you is more than a lament. It's a diagnosis, a portrait of our times, but it's also an invitation, a call to inner resistance. If the world doesn't notice, then you must. If no one listens, then you must listen. If everything is hurried, then you must slow down. Because in the end, perception is a way of saying, you matter. And we are all desperate to hear that, truly. If you enjoyed this topic, give it a like and subscribe to the channel. See you soon.